Hey guys, it's Joette with BalloonCoach.com, and today I'm answering a question about how do I choose what training to go to versus in person and online, big groups, little groups, what's going to work best for me. So I'm going to, at the end of the conversation, give you kind of a checklist to go through to kind of help you make those determining factors. And I'm also interviewing Tami to share some information about a really cool experience that we are now doing annually, which is a Christmas parade experience. And I see I picked the wrong one with the typo there. Um, Wrong graphic. That helps you know about working in teams and doing a really cool parade. And then we also will talk about Float the Convention and other trainings that I'm aware of that I've been getting a lot of questions about. And so I know sometimes it's really difficult when there's so many different options, and we've maybe not experienced any of them before to know what to go to. So I'll be glad to help you guys through that process. So what I want to do right now is introduce to you Tami. So, Tammy, if you can say hi and share with everybody who you are, where you're from, and the business that you currently run.
Absolutely. Hello, I'm Tami Schroeder from Madison, Wisconsin, and I own Funny Faces Family Entertainment and Balloon Decor. Thanks for having me on, Joette. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. So, last year you were a part of our parade in Modesto, California. So for anybody who hasn't heard about this yet, is Denise Seymour, who has been my little balloon co in Modesto, California for 40 years, opened up last year for a group of us to go and do an internship. We were all mastermind members and people filled out the application to go and do the internship with her so they could kind of see behind the scenes of what it's like to have been in business that long and how she sets up this award-winning parade that she does. And then a little other step about Denise is Denise actually came to my parade workshops in 2016 and 2017 with Balloons by Tami. So for me, it was really cool to be able to go like, oh, I knew what she did in the past. I know what she's increased to. And it was fun to be able to see her from, having her come to a workshop that I was doing about parades and then being able to go and actually be a part of the parade that she had. So for me, that was super, super fun. And what happened is we've got the majority of our people who went last year coming back. And so we decided to open it up as an internship for a few more people to be able to have the experience of working with us. And then this allows our mentors to kind of step into a leadership role and help work with you as you build things for the event. So, Tammy, what interested you the most last year of going to the event and why are you coming back?
Wow, that's a great question. Well, I really just wanted to see the ins and outs on how a parade, balloon parade is put together. And the beautiful thing is I learned so much more than that. Denise's business is I mean, she's just been in the business for so long and she has so many contacts and people love her in her community. And so they were really they're really good to her, but they were really good to us as well. So it was so fun. We learned so much. We worked side by side with Carolyn Heyman, and I mean, we all love Carolyn. Um, and then it was the things I learned, the things I got to try. It's like this perfect venue that we're set up in. It's this big temperature controlled warehouse. And literally, we have everything we need provided for us. And it's, it's, it's so neat because it's such a collaboration between the car dealership, Denise's business, the area schools. They bring in 50 kids, dance kids that are actually wearing the costumes, that are taught choreographed numbers to do during the parade. It's Oh, and then there's also a kids rock band. So there's a parade float with that we've decorated, and the kids are uh, playing their musical instruments, and so there's live music. There's and then the beautiful thing is they keep on adding things every year. So they actually decided, so it's a nighttime parade, so literally everything's lit up, and they decided that we need more. So there's fog machines that spew out off of the parade. So then there's disco lights going around. It is the most spectacular thing I've ever seen. So it was an easy yes to say, yeah, I want to come back.
Cool. And I know you mentioned that Carolyn Heyman is our lead designer for our costumes. For those of people who haven't met Carolyn Heyman and doesn't know what she does, can you tell folks a little bit about her and why you enjoyed working with her?
Oh my goodness. Well, Carolyn's a hoot. And she's so knowledgeable and encouraging. And so she teaches the beautiful linking balloons. So for those of her that don't know her, she has created Conrad the Unicorn. And from Conrad the Unicorn, she's created lots of other recipes. And so she teaches everyone how to do that, and then we end up reproducing all of that. um, I mean, and when I say all of that, I mean, like, what was there, like 10 reindeer, and how many toy soldiers did we do, and a giant Santa, and I mean, I can't even, I mean, you can see my excitement, but like my excitement pales in comparison to what actually happens at the parade. So, does that
Exactly.
answer your question?
It does. So for those of you who are on today because you wanted to know about the parade experience, please feel free to type in the chat other questions that you have about the parade experience, or open up your mic if you'd like to. Oh, there was somebody who was going to go but is not able to make it because they have something else going on the day. We're also going to be talking about other trainings that are coming up that you might be interested in also. So this isn't just about the parade workshop today. I'm also going to be talking about float, the Sempertex experience, and some other things that are coming up down the road. So feel free to stay in and be a part of the conversation. So what I want to do today is, like I said, I want to make sure that if you guys have questions specifically about the parade workshop or about going to other conferences, please type them into the chat so I can make sure to answer your questions. And if you haven't gotten an application yet and you want one, I'll be glad to put that into the chat. Go ahead, Tami.
Well, I wanted to explain why I like in-person training. Um, so conferences are really wonderful. They're great. It's, I wouldn't take that away, but the beautiful thing about doing an in-person training, especially in a small group, is we're actually working side by side. So you're learning from people that have done this before. And the beautiful thing is, even if you have done this before, you do it your way, and I do it my way, and Carolyn does it her way, and everybody else. But the beautiful thing is, you have the opportunity to see how somebody else does it, to see if their way is better, or to see if a combined version of all of those options is actually a better thing. And the other thing I wanted to touch on was, things come up when we're building balloons. We have an idea when we're trying something new and maybe it doesn't work. So it's the other beautiful thing is to watch and hear people's thought processes on how to solve those problems, and how to how to pivot. And then so we're almost teaching you how to think. It's really an apprentice program. So it's hands-on training. I find is the best training. Um, so I just wanted to let people know. If anybody has any questions, feel free to let us know.
Awesome. And I agree with Tami. Like, I have been to all of the events in the United States that are big and known. Like, I used to go to World Balloon Convention and I traveled to many different states to go there. That used to be put on by Qualitex, which is no longer in business. With Float the convention, I actually went to Float before it was Float. Steve Jones used to do a hands-on experience where a group of balloon professionals were able to come. And the year I was there, it was called Balloon Town. We were in a mall and a store that was closed down, and we transformed that space into this magical dragon land and castle and forest. And I was there with some of the top names in the industry, and I had this amazing experience that I was able to see large scale balloon decor come to life. I worked insane hours. We would honestly work like overnight. So like one shift would work during the day, one work at nighttime, and my roommate was on the opposite shift of me. So that was always interesting. But it was a cool experience just to be able to hear the stories of people who've been in the industry longer than I had. And then also be able to have more time with some of the people that I did know. So for me, that was the coolest thing, is just getting to see something that huge come to life was phenomenal. So that was a big build before people knew much about big builds. And then within Float, going to that conference gave me the friends that I have now for over 15 years. It gave me an opportunity to stretch my skills and try out competing. I helped other people win Design of the Year. I went and did small sculptures and got 2 first place awards. So I could always use that as a little talking point while I was on my networking events. And then I, as balloon coach for the last 10 years, have been putting on both small and medium-sized events. So not over 150 people in the room. And then this summer, I traveled and did retreats where we had small group under 15 people together. And so through all those experiences, what I have found is that these amazing connections that we make with other people who are like-minded with us are priceless, because maybe you're not going to click with everybody in the room, but you're going to find 1 or 2 people that you click with that's going to become somebody that you can just turn to when you're having a bad day, or a small group of people that you use as your tribe to bounce ideas off throughout the week. And so for me personally, I have a tribe that I've had for over 12 years now, that we are on a Zoom call twice a month. And it's just cool to have somebody else to share my life with and to share the ups and downs of being a business owner. So when you come to an event like the Parade Workshop, it just gives you that opportunity to expand your network, find another couple of cool kindred spirits, and then also learn from the way things other people do it. You may find things that work great for you, and then also show you things that you don't want to do in your business. And so what's really cool about last year's experience is those of us that are coming back, we've got Gracie from Hawaii, and she's been to a lot of different events. We were just recently at the Tough Techs experience. She's been on the logistics crew for me for Balloon Boss Summit, and she's going to be our logistics person. She's going to fly in a couple of days early. She's going to help Denise have all the product ready and in stations for us. And so she and I and Carolyn and Denise are going to have a schedule made up ahead of time, along with Tami, who's over the characters, and be able to go like, okay, these are the things that need to get built, and this is where we're going to build it at. Because like with a character, it's got 260s for the hair and those kind of things. So you have to take that into consideration of when you build things in the time frame. And as a person who is on the intern experience with our mentors at the Parade Workshop, is you'll get to be a part of the planning. In October, they'll tell us what our theme is. Last year, it had a disco style. So if you guys look back at the videos and the photos that we posted, you're like, why are there disco balls? Because it was a Christmas disco theme. But we still made the reindeer and the Santa and Christmas trees and all those fun things. And the way that Denise has her props move in a parade is on a base with wheels, which I have not seen in very many places in the United States. I've seen a couple people overseas do it, but it's really nice to give you another way to be able to put those sculptures out there into the world. And then the most magical part of any parade is just seeing the enthusiasm of the crowd and being able to experience that energy. You can't explain it. So that's another reason I think Tami and I are so passionate about more people being a part of this experience this year. So yes, there will be, after you are selected to be at the parade in Chicago, I mean, sorry, in Modesto, we will have recommended hotels to stay at that are near where we're going to be working at the warehouse, and where we'll be having meals at the house. So yes, we'll definitely give that information out to the people who are selected to be on the committee, or to be on the intern crew this year. So what I want to do is I want to give you guys just a quick checklist that I promised for those people that listen in, to help you decide which kind of training to go to, and then also give you information on the other hands-on events that I'm currently aware of and that I'll be participating in this year. So I am going to go here. And if you happen to see another question come up, Tami, that I did not see, please feel free to shout it out. And like I said, guys, you can open up your mic and ask.
I'm keeping an eye out for
Thank
some
you.
comments.
All right. So what I'm going to do is share my page with you guys so I can just give you some tips on trainings and then make sure you guys have this. So I am putting it as a Canva link into the chat for you. Those watching it as a replay, you'll see it listed down below. But here is my basic checklist when you're thinking about training is number one, are you available to travel? Right? Do you feel comfortable traveling on your own? Do you have the funds to purchase the airline ticket and the hotel? How long are you going to be able to be away from home? And do you have someone to cover events, or are you going to be turning down jobs while you're gone? And when you're looking at your travel, sometimes the expense that comes along with training, it's an investment in your business. So sometimes you may find a family member that wants to gift it to you to help support your business. I also know people who have actually gotten funds from their local business networking groups to be able to pay for training also. So sometimes those are extra little grants that are out there from business organizations. And then your learning style. Do you learn well in a large group, like in a lecture style? Do you learn best in hands-on, actually building things so that you retain what you've learned? Do you have a desire to increase your professional network? So being in person is going to be helpful for that. Can you learn online and then just take action from it? So what works best for you? Are you a person that can learn in all those avenues, or do you know one that works great for you? And then if you're not able to travel because you don't have anyone to take care of your family obligations, or that you need somebody to run your business for you, um, when you're looking at online trainings, you want to check and see, can you learn on your own schedule? Like, is it something that's recorded and you can watch it at any time? Or are you a person that can actually block off some time and be able to join in online sessions and not feel like you're alone in your journey and be able to interact with other people? So as we go through answering some of your other questions, I just want to make sure you guys know that there are resources out there, BalloonCoach.com. I offer both online and in-person trainings. The BalloonIndustryCalendar.com. It is phenomenal. So if you've not gone to BalloonIndustryCalendar.com yet, Dory, one of my past instructors for Mastermind Summit and a Mastermind member, she put out this free, awesome resource to the industry. And so you can go on and see from different manufacturers, different distributors, other independent people who are holding classes around the world. You can see them there. And then floatconvention.com, I'm going to talk about it shortly, is another place to find all the details for his conference. And then your manufacturer and distributor website. So wherever you buy balloons from, or any of the manufacturers that you use, go to their main website, and there's typically a place that shows you upcoming trainings. So I wanted to make sure you guys know that all those resources are out there. Sometimes people that are newer to the industry do not realize that there's so many outlets out there for you to be able to find training. So let me go on real quick and check to see specific questions that people have. One is about the Orlando experience with our friends at Simpertech. So I'm going to go on here to show for you. And what I'm doing is I'm going on to Instagram, and on the Simpertechs, they have been putting up information. So just so you know, Simpertechs is in Colombia. All right. They are not in the United States. And Simpertex is the brand that makes the Linkaloon. And for years, the Linkaloon was repackaged in a bag called Batalitex.com, owned by Batalic.com in the United States. So bottom line, the Simpertex balloon, worldwide balloon, been out forever. Just sometimes the United States was in a different bag. But in the last couple of years, they've gone back to being in the Simpertex bag. But if you go here, you're able to see on their social media all this wonderful news about their event. It's going to be in Orlando, October 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. And the reason that hooked me to go is, number one, it's near me. I'm 45 minutes from Orlando. But Chris Adamo from Australia is one of my favorite people on the planet that I've always enjoyed learning from. He is awesome at links. He also teaches about balloonpro.co, which is an online program that helps you in making your balloon designs. Tabitha used it this summer. We're making the boot for our retreat in Waco. And Chris is just an all-around awesome guy. So if he's going to be in the United States, I want to be in his class. So you can read more about their event and you just click on the link. And I believe, I'm just going to see if this link will work for me good right now. Copy, paste, oops. So the trick on getting their ticket is, I know sometimes it gets confusing because it's not always in English. So I always have to check this to translate, and sometimes it doesn't. But when you go to the room, you're not needing the one that is, okay, now it's just going to the 621. So it's $620 for the 3 days of training from the six different instructors, and it gives you the information about having lunch and dinner for the 3 days of the event, which is wonderful. And then 3 events that night. There is going to be a vendor room that's the different distributors that are going to be there, and an industry with a panel with industry leaders. So that's another event that I'm going to be going to. And again, that's in October in Orlando. So all that information is there. And for those of you on the chat, I am typing in this for you so that you guys have it. All right. And then the other event that I wanted to make sure that I let you guys know about is Float the Convention. If you have never been to this event, it is huge. It's the largest in the United States currently because World Balloon Convention is no longer. And the thing that I enjoy about Float is that the sponsors are not just one balloon manufacturer, it's most of the balloon manufacturers in the industry. They have a long lineup of instructors that are going to be there. A lot of our wonderful folks from Balloon Boss Mastermind and Summit. Melissa Fox with Balloon Theory in St. Louis. I'm super excited that she's on the team this year, and that'll be her first time teaching at a convention. Ariel is another one of our Balloon Boss Mastermind members that will be on staff. And then I was trying to find a couple of our other folks. Tabitha is going to be instructing this year. Bree was one of our instructors last year with Elevated Impressions. She's awesome. Zoe, I've heard her train in the past. She is from Australia also. She is wonderful. Tabitha Miller from Animated Art Balloon. She was one of my instructors this year for our traveling for our retreats, and then also in the past from Balloon Boss Summit. So there's a ton of other amazing people that will be there, and it has a huge vendor showroom. So you can just see there is a ton of people that participate in this event, and so that you can experience different people who do training, different manufacturers and distributors, just to kind of get this really cool feel of the largeness of our industry. So all of those information is on his website, and it is January 25th through the 29th. There's also bonus things that happen on the 23rd and 24th. And this year, it's the first time traveling to the West Coast. It used to always be in the Midwest. And so now it's going to be in Reno, Nevada. So if you're a West Coast person, it's closer to you. You asked for it. He moved over there. So I wanted to let you guys know that those are kind of the different events. Debbie said that she's registered for 26. That's awesome. Also, as a side note, if you're a person that's looking at coming and wants to help out in my booth, you can send me a DM on that because I always love having extra people in there. So at this point, I want you guys to open up the mic to ask or type into the chat if you have any specific questions about attending the parade workshop, because that application does need to be in by Saturday, August 9th, by the end of the day, for us to select everybody and share on Monday, the 11th, who will be joining us in Modesto for the Christmas parade in December. And then if you have questions about other things, just let me know. So I am going to stop my share, click over here. And again, feel free to open up your mic, guys, if you have a question. Tami, I'm gonna put you on the spot, and I know you have been to other industry events in the past. Why do you encourage people to not just stay at home and do online learning and get to one of these events? What, I know you kind of talked about it a little bit earlier, but like overall in life, what do you think has helped enhance things for you from going to those personal trainings?
Camaraderie, right? I mean, just I I've I've literally made some of my best friends during conventions that I still hang out, and we actually, you touched on it before, you become important people in each other's lives. So I literally, my son just said that he was just shared that he was getting married, and who was actually physically in the room at my house when that happened. It was Dory. Dory was at my house. Dory lives on the East Coast. I live on the Midwest, in the Midwest. And she's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm really forever cemented in your family now." So you know, and you end up, you just end up clicking with people. And then, like Joette said, you tend to form little text chats. And we actually like in our text chain, when we go to conventions, we'll often wear matching outfits. So if you saw us at the Tough Test experience on pajama night, we all had duck pajamas. So we, I mean, there's, you're just bonded with people, because this business is so lonely, because it's normally just you working alone in your workshop. Maybe you're lucky enough to have a couple people work with you. But when you have, I mean, my tech, while we were on this call, I have two text chains going, and people, it was just flying in with just various other questions, and like, what color is best for this, or oh, hey, I have to sell this to a client, let's give some other, let me ask some questions. The camaraderie, that's, I mean, that's absolutely why you go to in-person things, because you are going to click with somebody. The other thing is,
Yeah.
just seeing Chris Adamo in real life is very different than seeing him in through, through Facebook. What a gift, because people are really nice and really willing to share their knowledge. And I just, I don't know, the balloon industry is unique in that way. So just, I'd highly recommend coming
Yeah.
to one. And I mean, and really, they're all different. So if you don't like one, that doesn't mean that you're not gonna like, try multiple options. I tend to go to a lot. I have to rein it back in. I'm going to too much, but it's addicting.
Yes. So what I just wanted to share is I'm putting up this cute video. This is of the gingerbread man dancing around while we were at the warehouse in Modesto. And what's great is this is Carolyn Heyman, the one that is the designer of our linking things. Gracie was in there dancing with the disco ball. This was the parade float that goes down because Denise works with a car dealer that has one of her clients forever, and they win this parade every single year. And now you can see the spectacle of all the lights shining at night with all of the costumes going down the street. And so to see more about Denise and her company, it's My Little Balloon Co. On Instagram. And as you can see, the fireworks just went off and the smoke machine and all the lighting and everything. So again, we're really excited. If you would like to fill out the application, just type into the chat if you didn't see the application yet, and I'll put it in here for you guys so that you can be a part of that Christmas experience for December of 2025. And this is Denise. Oops, it didn't click for me. What did I do wrong? Okay. Oh, because it's doing her story. So Denise is up here and she is amazing. Denise, if you're on and you wanted to say anything, you're welcome to do so. And I'm checking on the chat to see any other questions.
I see Annie Keller said, yes, 100%. You make balloon besties. Annie's the best.
That is great. And so the last thing that I just want to show you guys is if you are looking for connection online or in person and you're not sure where to go and you need some more conversation, when you go to ballooncoach.com, you can go down here where there's a calendar and book a 10-minute consultation with me on Zoom. Pick out the time that's best for you, and we can talk about your particular situation. And believe me, many times I will refer people to other training outside of my own because I sometimes know that that's going to be a better fit for you. But what's really cool with Balloon Coach is that we do have our Decor 101 program and our mastermind program to meet you wherever you're at. And we have people who are brand new to the balloon industry to people who've been in the industry 4 and 5 decades that are part of our mastermind program to help you take those next steps with a mix of training that's online that you can listen to at any time to our live weekly sessions. So wanted to let you know that's there. And this year, instead of doing my Balloon Boss Summit in person, we are doing it virtually on a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. It is coming up in November the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And you will see all of our instructors posted shortly next week with the schedule so that you know everything that's going on. But it's going to be from 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. Eastern. On Sunday through Thursday, plus bonus sessions in the evening, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern. So I wanted to let you know that those opportunities are there for you. I'm here to help you connect. I'm help you take that next step in your business. I love inspiring, encouraging, and providing the resources for people to take their next step. And Balloon Coach is not just about me. It's about amazing mentors like Tami and others who've been giving their knowledge to others forever. So this year, Summit is a virtual program. And yeah, go ahead, Tami. I see you
All right.
chatting, wanted to say something about virtual. Go right ahead.
So before I went to an in-person event, I mean, I've gone to other in-person events, but for a while I couldn't just because I was busy at home. And for Summit's virtual event in 2000, just in 2000, right? Or
I think
2000,
so.
yeah. So or 2020, that's right.
20.
You had these breakout rooms. So just like at the tables, they were like virtual tables. And I actually met one of my very best friends in the virtual room. We just connected. We ended up just connecting a few more times. We realized we clicked. So then we actually set up a weekly call. And so we would, for an hour, and then it turned into longer than an hour. Um, we'd connect. And then when we went to float, she asked me, she's like, hey, do you want to be my roommate? And I would have never in a million years, if you know me, I don't like having roommates. Um, but since then I've broken that rule. Now I have lots of roommates. But um, no, so it was nice because I I actually, when you first meet me, I'm quite shy. And so virtual really worked out well for me. I know a lot of people don't think I'm shy, but I am.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, and it's so cool that sometimes having that virtual connection with somebody that allows you to then meet them in person, and that leads to awesome, fun relationships. So the last thing I'm going to put in the recording, and then we'll open it up to anything Q&A that we won't be recorded, is balloonindustrycalendar.com. For those of you on live with me, I just put it in there. And again, this is the resource that Dory has made so that you can see upcoming training. So like for the month of August, you can see on here that there's upcoming things that are being put on by Anagram and Elatex and Tough Tex. So she is putting these different trainings there for you to be able to see. And so go in and check it out. At the bottom, it says subscribe to calendar. And then that way you'll get updates when things are posted. So I encourage you guys to check that out. Again, balloonindustrycalendar.com. It is an awesome resource. And again, if you would like to set up a 10-minute consultation with me, just go to ballooncoach.com, click on the calendar, and let's get set up to answer your questions. And then the deadline that we're on is if you are wanting to be a part of the parade workshop, being considered for that, you do need to fill out that application by 11 p.m. Eastern on Saturday, August 9th. So what I'm going to do now is say thanks for being on, and those of you who are on live will get to be a part of a Q&A open ask anything. And that's what happens in all of our Balloon Boss Mastermind trainings that I do and any of my lunch and learns. At the end, I turn off the recording and open it up for conversation for people to ask anything. And that is some of the most powerful conversations. And I encourage you to join us for the next one if you're watching this as a replay.